Hello, and welcome to the Access Strength Training Podcast. I want to talk to you today about a topic that came into my head as I was coming home from the gym this morning. And that topic is something I find very important. It's often overlooked, and that's focus. So, we talk a lot about consistency at the gym, right? Because we all know. And you've heard me preach it over and over again. Like, you have to be consistent, right? You have to show up every day. You have to do the same things over and over again for a long period of time in order to get better and see improvements. And that is absolutely true. But something I think I've neglected to talk about enough is the concept of focus. So what I want to address today is how, if you're stuck in any one area of your life, whether it's in your fitness, in your finances, whatever it is that you feel like you're kind of lagging behind in, I want to encourage you to use focus to move the needle in those areas, in whatever area that is that you want to see improvement on. So I'm going to give you a little personal example, with the most recent example of focus and how to use it to move ahead. So people talk about consistency, and I talk about consistency a lot, and how consistency over time is how you make progress, and it is. Like, you will make progress. But a lot of times with inconsistency, people get complacent. So it kind of breeds complacency sometimes. And what I mean by that is, so everybody talks about balance and how important balance is in life, and you have to be balanced. Well, by definition, balance means you're giving equal time and space to all areas of your life. And by doing that, by definition, you are mediocre in all areas. So if complete mediocrity is what you're looking for, then fine, stay balanced. But if you're looking to move the needle in any one area, meaning you're looking to improve kind of quickly and rapidly, or you've hit a plateau in a certain area, I'm going to encourage you to have what I call extreme focus, at least for a season. And here's what I mean by that. So, for example, I've used this over and over in my life in different areas. When I was looking to get, many years ago, I was looking to get my finances under control. And I decided I was going to go all in. I read books, watched videos, and I took extreme action. I mean, I went as far as to sell cars I've had because I had a car payment. And I realized I don't need a car payment. I don't want a car payment. I want to do better with my finances. So I sold the car. I went all in. I went as far as using coupons and doing couponing, and took a lot of flack. I was getting busted on a lot by family, friends, about, how extreme my measures were. But looking back, it was a great decision to use that season of my life to focus on getting my finances squared away. And I've done the same for my business and for my fitness. So a couple years ago, I decided I needed to really focus on my business. And if I really wanted to make Access Strength Training sustainable and long term, I needed to put some extreme focus in. So I did. I bought mentorship, and I went all in on the business side of things. And I really moved the needle for a couple of years. In doing so, I didn't completely give up my fitness. I still went to the gym. I still worked out, but it kind of was on the back burner. It was just simmering there on the back burner. So this summer, I feel good about where the business is. I put time in. I put the focus in business, got the business where I wanted it. I have felt my fitness sort of slipping back, right? Kind of mediocre because that was on the back burner. So I decided that this summer I would turn up the heat. I would turn up the focus for a season on my fitness. So I kept that back burner lit, kind of switched roles, put the business on the back burner. I'm not completely forgetting about it, but it isn't my primary focus for this season. And I focused on my fitness. That came first. So in doing so for the last 3 months, it really moved the needle in my fitness. I feel great right now. I built a lot more muscle over the summer. I built my cardio, and I feel great physically. And I would encourage you to do this in different areas of your life at different times as needed. Use this extreme focus tactic to make the progress you want to make in areas of your life, knowing that you're not completely giving up on other areas of your life, that you're just putting them on the back burner. They're still going. There's still a flame there. It just has a lower intense heat on it. And you're going to turn up the heat in the areas that you really want to move the needle on. And you're going to do this through seasons. And you can pick times to focus on your fitness, on your finances, on your business, whatever area in life that is important for you to really make progress in at that time. I do encourage you to go all in and put some extreme focus on that area for a season. Balance is great, but by definition of balance, you become mediocre. If you are constantly trying to put the same amount of attention to everything, always, instead try putting a little more focus, a little more extreme focus in the areas that you really want to move the needle in that season, and you will see the progress needed. So if you're hitting the gym and you feel like you've stalled out a little bit on your progress, but you know you're kind of being a little bit complacent, like you might be consistent and you might be showing up 3, 4, 5 times a week, but you're just not seeing the progress you used to see, but you want to see some more progress. I encourage you to go into a season of focus where you really dial everything in, that you read books on nutrition and you start to dial your nutrition in, and you really focus when you're at the gym. You're not just there going through the motions. You're going into it with an extreme focus and intensity so that you can move the needle, knowing that you're just going to do this for a season till you get to a point you're happy with, and then you can kind of still stay consistent by going to the gym, by working out, doing the things you need to do to sustain a level of fitness, but then you can use the next season to focus in the next area that you want to move the needle in. Sometimes if we want to move the needle and we want to get ahead in certain areas, we have to put more focus on it, more of an intense focus for a season, and then get back to other areas. And to me, that still is balance, because over time, you're putting the same amount of effort into each area of your life. You're just a little more intense in one area during a season than another. I hope that makes sense, guys. If you have any questions about this topic, please reach out to me through to accessstrengthtraining@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook or Instagram and reach out. Talk to you later.